So now we are in this basement full of design objects. I think it's over 20,000 in the meantime, and it doesn't look like there will be an end to it soon. What was
hopefully not, hopefully not.
What was the original intention of this collection?
The idea was not to make a collection. The idea was to study our trade, furniture making. And first I was in a glass box, had an office, a glass box. On outside of the glass box I had Eames chairs. Every day I looked at them. And then I thought, well, but I want to learn more. And I had Prouve on my mind for quite a while. And so in Paris I bought the Anthony, the first chair we bought. And then over time came the others, especially Alto in the first round. Then later Breuer, Riedfeld, etc. So the circle went larger and larger. And then it became a collection. Yeah.
And what was it about Prouve's oeuvre that spoke to you?
Prouve is like Eames, but in approach, but different in the choice of material. Each product looks very different, but the idea behind the approach is the same. Working with prototypes, going to the atelier, make something, come back, and continuing working, improving. That's very similar. He was also an artist's mind, and so whatever makes, everything makes sense, but it's also of great beauty. And that is, of course, the artist in him.
I mean, you admire his entire work. Are there any pieces in the collection that you really love particularly? What are your favorites?
In the history of furniture, there are good chairs, quite a few good chairs. Prouve did very good chairs. There are very few great tables.
Ah, okay.
And Prouve is the master of the table. The most beautiful tables. What else? Well, certainly the Cité.
The Cité.
I mean, the Cité,
we have it here.
That's the Cité. In another way, completely different way, the kangaroo. The kangaroo, this was for the university, it was relatively cheap at the time.
Yeah.
The kangaroo is much more special piece. And here I think we see Prouve's the organic, the restrained organic. Maybe these are my favorites.
Downstairs we spoke about Prouve's great influence on you and the company, but I'm sure he also had an influence on other designers. Do you know of any connections and relations?
Well, I know one that was not very intense, but happened. Eames didn't know Prouve actually until '55. We know that because Ray Eames was in Paris and sends a little note to Charles saying, I met architect Sylvie, and he says, you should know French designer, prefabrication, he is like you. Name Jean Prouve, and then she misspells Prouve, not with the aigu, but with the E and the T. Of course, the architects, clear, Piano, Foster, Nouvelle, they were all influenced by Prouve.
There's also a much more recent example. When we were working with Virgil Abloh in 2019, all he wanted to talk about and think about and what he was inspired by was Prouve. And we saw downstairs how big the work of Jean Prouve is, so you had to select together with Catherine what would go into production. How did you decide?
Well, I think it's clear what are the sort of the highlights of the collection. Many things were made for specific projects, there are variations, but it was clear the tables, the trapeze table, of course, the guéridon, the EM table, the tables, because the tables are fantastic, and then the major chairs.
The standard that we're sitting on?
Standard, and then, of course, the Cité, and the Anthony, that was the beginning. And we did the light.
The potence.
The potence, yeah. This you had in the first collection.
Downstairs we also spoke about the 3 pillars of the collection, right? We have Eames, Prouve, and Alto.
Right.
And in the meantime, these are also 3 pillars of the Vitra universe.
Yeah, these are the 3 heroes. And of course the collection had many more heroes, but these were the major, the founding fathers.
Well, thank you for sharing the Prouve and Vitra history with everybody.
You're welcome.